Hey, what's going on, guys? Rob Satch from Feedbackwrench. You know what? I'm going to talk about if you're doing digital marketing for your small business, whether you're a construction company, accountant company, or even if you're insurance, or maybe a builder, home builder, remodeling company, maybe you do concrete. I don't care what it is. I want to talk to you about the simple strategies that are actually going to work. And one of the things that a lot of people neglect and don't know about, and let's just dive right into it. Again, if you need websites, if you want to do paid search ads, if you want to do content with SEO, man, head to feedbackwrench.com. But in this one, let's talk about how do you get customers to your website. What's the most predictable way for you to actually drive traffic and get leads? And then what's a little tip on the back end that actually helps maximize any of those efforts that you do? So long story short, remember that you kind of have two types of marketing. One, you have inbound marketing, and two, you have disruptive marketing. Inbound marketing to me is all about when people search something, you're going to show up. The main tools with inbound marketing are your website, your Google My Business, a little bit of your Bing Places, and YouTube, right? So those are the things where if you were to ask Alexa, if you were to ask, or not Alexa, if you're going to ask Siri or Google or any of these voice operated things, they're going to search websites, YouTube videos, a little bit of Facebook, but not really that much. And they're going to serve up whatever they think is the best answer to your query, right? And then disruptive, the idea is that you can target different people, but disruptive marketing is really about, hey, I want to get in front of people on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever that is, right? And essentially the idea is that somebody's sitting there watching and an offer will pop up in front of them. Now, a lot of people would argue that social media allows for inbound marketing for disruptive marketing because you can target people, but really you're losing timing. That's the main fault with disruptive marketing or using social media marketing in particular. You know, people sit down and sure, maybe they're going to be looking for a new patio someday, or maybe they're looking for a new accountant, but they're not really like in that mode right then and there. In fact, they're kind of in brainless mode, right? Most of us, when we are just looking at Facebook, and we're not in the mode to solve a problem. So you kind of lose that. However, Facebook, YouTube, Google Display, LinkedIn, this disruptive types of marketing can be helpful, particularly if you're in some niches that are really expensive. For example, if you're in the roofing, siding, windows, all of those arenas have really high cost per click because the payoff is so big, right? So oftentimes you can start getting people that might be interested in it and you can create audiences. Anyways, all that being said, the king of marketing is to intersect with people when they're looking for it at just the right time with just the right solution. So if somebody's searching remodeling companies near me, doggone it, if you can intersect with them right then and there, that's going to be great. If you can intersect with remodeling ideas, kitchen cabinet designs, flooring options, flooring companies, right? That's the best because they're looking for a solution at that moment. And that's one of the biggest things about inbound search marketing is that people are in the mode to look. So you've got timing, you've got intent, right? There's intent behind every search. So if you can optimize your content, and that would be your overall website, but then also your individual pieces of content and pages on your website and YouTube videos, well, if you can intersect with that, that's great, right? But now let's talk about the two types of inbound marketing that you have. Essentially, you have organic and then you have paid, right? So paid search marketing versus organic marketing. Or in order for you to create content that would rank organically, which means it would just show up in Google without much, it's kind of like trying to win the Cold War, right? It takes a long time for you to do it. As you do it, you're also going to want to know that any efforts that you put into it take a couple years to actually pay off. And that's probably the biggest problem with that kind of marketing. From there, paid search though, paid search allows you to tap into three different things depending on the industry that you're in. You can tap into the Google ads right up on the top, right? And this is in Google, there's a Bing version of this too, but Google ads, then you have Google My Business attached to an ad, and then a lot of industries now are starting to get what's called home services, Google Home Services or Google Guarantee, which is its own platform. So just know that Google Ads is one thing. Google Ads with the Google My Business on there, so you can actually share your reviews through an ad is kind of another sector there, but it's still within Google Ads. And then you have Google Home Services or a Google Home Guarantee, which is right up on the top. And I know for sure that like window replacement uses that. Window companies near me gutter companies near me, all HVAC. Those industries have this Google Home Services thing, but like remodelers don't. So it's not in every sector and it's not in every region. But know that the beauty of paid search advertising is you can take market share now, right? So what I recommend, no matter what, is to use excellent search queries in paid search and overall in organic, right? But it's going to take you a while to build up your organic search. And really, here's the tip for that, is just make sure that you get more reviews than everybody else. Make sure you have a great website. And over time, build up little votes of confidence to your website. And what you'll find is that you will win the long war if you have a Google My Business, if local SEO is important to you. But really, you'll have to create content. So using paid search is excellent to get people to your website. Then you have to make sure you actually convert them, right? But here's the trick. Once they've done that and they've gotten to your website, what you'll want to do is make sure that you do what's called a remarketing campaign or a retargeting, right? So the idea is if people came to your website because they searched for, I've got a client out there, Zenlord Pro, and they're running ads to intersect with people looking for landlord accounting or landlord software, property management software. And as people hit that, even if you have 5 to 15% of those searchers convert with you and do your, sign up or whatever it is, that's great. But that means that 85 to 95% of them haven't. So just think about how people usually do research. They're going to come to a bunch of websites, do a little bit of homework, and then they'll probably come back to it. And the idea with remarketing or retargeting is that you will create an audience on Google, an audience on Facebook, and an audience on LinkedIn that includes the people that have either been to your entire website or have been to a particular web page or have completed a series of actions within your website. And once they've done that, they get marked as a remarketing audience. So you'd create a remarketing audience in Facebook, you can do it in LinkedIn, and Google, you can do it. And then when you do it with Google, you could use YouTube, you could use Google Display, when you go to a blog and it's got all those images all over the place, you can do that. You can even create another audience that you would have as a secondary search campaign. So you could say, hey, anybody that's been to my website, if they search for anything like this again, boy, I want to be as broad as I can. I want to be as aggressive as I can. I'm going to go for reach and clicks, and no matter what, I'm going to make sure that I show up no matter what, and that's a good thing to do. Then the other thing that you'd want to do is create this. Now in Google, you can create audiences that go, maybe they're part of this audience list for 7 days, 2 days, 14 days, 30 days. You can go all the way up to 540 days on this remarketing list, right? On Facebook, you can do the same thing, and they would be part of, if they've been to your website and you have the Facebook Pixel installed, they'd be part of that audience for about, a couple days, 1 day, or until they've done something. But a lot of times you'll want to create it for 7, 14, 30 days. You can do up to 180 days. Now you get some limitations if you're in a protected or a restricted sector. So if you're doing politics or housing or jobs, you've got to be careful. You can't do all of this, right? But long story short, the idea is people are going to hit your website. You pay to get them on there with a paid search ad, or maybe even better yet, it's just free and organic. But then what you'll want to do is you'll want to get in front of them again, particularly on Facebook and Instagram. There's probably a case to do it on LinkedIn, depending on your industries and sector that you're in. But essentially what will happen is they sit back down after their long day, and as they pull up Facebook to look, maybe you have another offer there, right? And one little tip I have is remember that oftentimes when people are doing this display stuff, they're going to opt in, and then you want to do something the next day. And remember that the different levels of commitments that you ask for are pretty broad. You can have everything from, hey, request a consultation, or maybe it's download. Maybe you have more of an enlightenment thing where what you're going to do is you're going to show them how to do something and add a ton of value or whatever that is, right? And maybe drive to a webinar. I don't know. There's all sorts of different steps, but remember that in social media, and in particular, I think Facebook, what you'll want to do is use images. You can do some video stuff. But when it comes to remarketing, there's kind of 2 stages of content or offers that you'd put in front of people too. So we got paid search ads, organic ads. They come to your site, they join an audience. Now we're going to get in front of them. And I think there's kind of 2 stages. In the first 7 to 14 days, maybe even 30 days, what you'll want to do is have them be part of an offer that's really aggressive and it's more calls to action, right? because the idea is it could have been that they looked at 3 different websites, and if you can get in front of them right away, doggone it, they're going to close with you, right? So give them a quick off ramp. It's more of like a schedule now, buy now, initiate proposal, whatever that is, and the result will be boom, you get that conversion, right? So that can help optimize any spend that you have in your paid search ads. The second thing that you'd want to look at is, okay, let's say after that 7, 14, or 30 days, they've seen that ad for a while, they're not responding to it. So what a lot of people will do is start just adding value, right? And the idea is maybe you put some downloading guides, white papers, webinars, videos, getting something sent to their email inbox, but just keep it simple. But the idea is, hey, let's show them a little bit of how you work to actually make their life better and how you work to do this. And the result will be that, doggone it, you'll get a higher conversion rate. So again, paid search is wonderful, but paid search is also expensive. The way you capitalize on that is making sure that you retarget people that have been to your core websites, and we can do all that for you. So if you like the idea of getting that set up, boy, we do an optimization. We can build you a website that actually converts. No matter what, folks, we'd love to help you. Good luck, God bless. Go to feedbackwrench.com. If this is helpful, man, I'd love comments, likes, shares. I'm just on my way to a meeting right now, and I know this isn't the most compelling video out there. I know my thing's shaking, but boy, I just want to help people. So good luck and God bless.